So hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you are doing extremely well, and this is your very own mass coder this side. So up until now in our placement series we have covered up till conditionals, and it's time to dive into loops. Okay, so as the name suggests, what is loops, right? Whenever I say a word loop, you will able to visualize something like of sort of this, right? Something sort of this, which is coming back to the starting point after completing one whole circle, and that is exactly what means loops in the coding also. Okay, so let me give you a problem to print your name, to print your name. And I think up until now you're well versed with cout and cin, and you will say, okay, I will use cout and I will print my name. Let's suppose your name is Rahul. Okay, a very common name by the way. Okay, now I say I print your name twice. You will say, no problem, I will use this statement two times. Okay, what about three times? Okay, you will use this statement three times. What about 10 times? Okay, I will use control C, control V and 10 times. Okay, but what about if I say 1,000 times? Okay, some of you are fanatically very much into the coding, so you will use 1,000 cout statements. But what if I say 10,000 times? Now all of you will give up. You will say, if you are going this much deep into the printing only, you are going to tell us some concept, and that is exactly what I'm here to tell you. So instead of printing this statement 10,000 times, what I will do is I will use a loop. A loop is a sort of program which runs iteratively itself again and again, again and again, again and again until we tell it to stop. Okay, so what I say, loop is a code that runs again and again until we tell it to stop. Okay, so now our main task is to see how does the loop work and how do we tell it to stop. How do we tell it to stop? That is the main important thing, that how do we tell it to stop. That loop, your work has been done, you have printed 10,000 times and then rest. No, you don't have to print anything, right? Stop. Okay, so the flowchart of loop, if you remember in the first lecture, I described as something as printing your name as 5 times. So I described it as, suppose my n is 1, right? Okay, I will start my program. I will start my program and then I will print my name, right? I will print my name. After that, I will increment my n, that is n will go to 2. I will say n equals to n plus 1. And now I will use an if statement. I will use an if statement, right? So if statement is represented as a diamond block. Now this has to run 5 times. So if n is for 1 it will print, for 2 it will print, for 3 it will print. So if n is greater than 5, in that case, if this returns true, if n is greater than 5, if this returns true, and otherwise in the case of false, it will go back here. It will go back here. So what is actually happening? In starting, my n is 1. I come here, I print my name once, right? My n becomes 2. It sees, is n greater than 5? No, so false. False, again drop back here, at this point. Okay, print your name. Okay, printed my name, n becomes 3. Okay, n is greater than 5? No, false. Again go back to this point, print your name, 4. Again, n is greater than 5? No, print your name, and then 5. Is n greater than 5? No. Print your name and n equals to 6. Is n greater than 6? Yes, 6 is greater than 5. So this will evaluate to true and we go to end. And this is exactly what we will be doing in coding also. We will just code this flow chart, and that is why I was saying from the first lecture that flow charts are very important to visualize what is happening in coding, right? Visualize what is happening in coding. Okay, so this statement, you can see this is also a loop. This is a circular loop kind of thing, right? It is running again and again from the same point, right? Okay, now this is known as a loop. Now there are two ways to write loop. You can use a for loop, you can use a while loop. The function for both the loops is exactly same. The main difference lies in their syntax. There is a third type of loop also, which is known as do while loop, but we will not discuss that here because that will be of no use for you in solving the DSA questions. And I'm saying again and again, I'm not teaching you coding, I'm teaching you DSA. I'm trying to master DSA for you. Okay, so in this lecture we will be talking about the for loop, and in the next lecture we will continue with the while loop, right, to make the video short and crisp. Okay, so discussing about for loop. The basic syntax of for loops looks something like: you initially write for, you initialize your variable, you check for the condition, and then you say updation. And between the curly braces, between the coding area of the for loop, you will write your code, what you want to do, and then you just end. So that means return. Okay, this is your loop. This is your loop. Okay. For the case we have written above, you can see we initialize n as 1. We initialize n as 1. So the initialization step is n equals to 1. Condition. What is the condition here? Our condition is n greater than 5. N greater than 5. So n greater than 5. Okay. Updation is n equals to n plus 1. N equals to n plus 1. This is our 3 steps. N equals to 1, n greater than 5, n equals to n plus 1. And what is a code block here? So a code block is print name. Print name. So we will just saying print name. That is cout name. Okay, cout name. Whatever your name is, right? I hope it is a very good name. Okay. So what will happen? Now, if you observe in the flow chart, we were returning back only in the case of false. Only in the case of false. But this is something different in loop. A loop evaluates to true. This condition should evaluate to true. Condition, if true, then code block will be executed. But if it is false, loop will be breaked off. Loop will be breaked off. That is, instead of going to this line, it's like this line of code, we will go here at the after the loop. Okay. So if we write the same code, if I write the same code in this compiler and see what is the result. So for int I going from 0, I less than 5. What did I do? I said the same thing. Oh, okay, we are taking 1, right? So I am taking it for 1. And I'm saying this condition should evaluate to true. This was evaluating false here. This was evaluating false here when we were running. So n greater than 5. So n greater than 5 is false. So n less than equals to 5 is equals to true, right? So int I less than equals to 5, I plus plus. So we updated it. I plus plus means increment. So if I was 1, it will change it to 2. If I was 2, it will change it to 3. Okay. Now I say cout Rahul, and I will just use an endl for better visualization, and then okay, this is my loop. What will be the output for this? What will be the output? Oh, okay, there was some glitch here. It is printing Rahul now 5 times. Okay, it is printing Rahul 5 times. Let us understand what is doing, what is happening. So the code is for int I equals to 0, I less than equals to 5, I plus plus, right? Cout Rahul endl, right? Okay. So what is happening? My first step is to see that this is my for loop. After that, my first step will be to do this. This is my first step. This will be my first step where my code moves. So int I equals to 0. I name a variable I and store 0 in it. Okay. After that, I check my second condition. Is 0 less than equals to 5? Yes, 0 is less than equal to 5. So my third statement will be here. My third statement is here, cout Rahul. So I printed Rahul once. And because of handle, I will print now in this line. Okay. After this, I will move here at the updation step and I will increment my I. So I will become 1 now. And this is 1 here, sorry. So this will be 1 and this will be 2. For 2, this is 4. So I will go to, after updation, I will go to the condition again. After condition checking, I am saying 2 is less than equals to 5. That is also true. So we'll come back here. So this is 6 and cout Rahul. Okay. After this, move back again here. 3. 3 is less than equals to 5. Yes, 3 is less than equals to 5. So move here again. Rahul. Similarly for 4, similarly for 5. But as soon as it will turn 6, this condition will run false and this will come back here and my printing of Rahul will be 5 times. This is simply for loop. So for loop is used to do something iteratively as soon as you want, as much as you want. Okay, but now if I do this to you, if I say I is equals to 6 and while I is greater than equals to 5, when I is greater than equals to 5, see out Rahul. What will happen? What will happen? This is your homework, right? What will happen? This is your homework. We will discuss this answer in the case of while loop. Okay. So thank you for watching and hope you were able to understand what is for loop. And just before ending, I will just run a simple program for you to explain you more. Right? I think for loop requires much attention more, which I provided up till now. So let's say I have to print counting up till 10. So I will say for int I going from 1 I less than equals to 10 I plus plus C out I. My I contains my integer that is 1, 2, 3, 4 consecutively and then ended. What will be the answer here now? So you can see it has printed 1 to 10. Okay, and this is the code. What is it doing? It is going from 1, printing it, then 2, checking it, then 3, etc., etc., and printing up till 10. And this is the whole code of the for loop. I hope that this was clear to you. If not, please comment it down and I will try to explain it there or make a new video on your demand. Okay, and then let's just close this up and we'll meet in the next video while explaining the while loop. Thank you for watching.